So how many of you, when you think of opera, you think of this? A Viking woman singing in a language you don't understand? Well, this is Brunhilde, and she was made famous in the 19th century by the opera composer Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries. The song was resurrected again in the 1950s by the animators of Looney Tunes. Here we have Bugs Bunny riding majestically on her horse. And for some of us, our first taste of opera was with Elmer Fudd singing, "Kill the Wabbit, kill the Wabbit," instilling in our young hearts our first taste of classical music. But what if the story of opera had been told differently? Maybe a little sexier? Maybe we'd feel a little differently about it. See, the cool thing about opera is it's all about how you tell the story. See Brunhilde riding on her majestic horse. See, falling in love with the music is the easy part. Now, you're probably wondering how somebody like me became so passionate about a 400-year-old art form. And let me tell you, my journey with opera has been rather unique. See, I've actually designed 25 different operas here in Orlando and Central Florida. And I have fallen in love by being a part of the process and helping to tell the story. See, as a hair and makeup and wig designer, I have had the honor of transforming hundreds of singers into opera's most iconic characters. And bringing these fictional characters to life has become my craft. And I gotta tell you, these physical transformations can be really magical. But it takes a lot of planning and tons of research. Whether it's the 1700s, 1920s, or even outer space, I'm constantly thinking, how does this transformation play into the interpretation of this classical music piece? Now, the first thing that I do, and my favorite part of the process, is to sit in the empty audience. And while I'm sitting in the empty audience, I'm looking at the lighting design, the interaction with the singers, the time in between the scenes, and this is where the collaboration really begins with the lighting designer, costume designer, the director, and, well, everybody. See, these insanely talented singers come to me at their most nervous and their most vulnerable, and sometimes in their literal and sometimes their fake blood, sweat, and tears. And together we go through this character development, and I gotta tell you, it's made me appreciate the music that much more. Then these singers, they take the stage and they pour their heart out, and it's this real, relatable emotion. I mean, how many of you have ever felt betrayed or ashamed? Do you know what it's like to lose the love of your life? I know I have. See, opera can be raw, and it can be pure. And I was asked recently, what could turn a 34-year-old woman on about opera? Why do I find it so sexy? And I gotta tell you, these are stories about lust and sex and passion and power. And to me, this kind of culture is sexy. See, opera is all about setting the human story to music. It was invented during the Enlightenment period when we were taught to question everything, from the origins of the world to the authority of the government. It really was the perfect stage for all culture and society of the time. And it appealed to all social classes. I mean, who doesn't like to go out and be entertained with their friends? So for hundreds of years, opera composers like Verdi and Puccini and Wagner have wrote musical masterpieces that have brought people together all over the world. Now, one of my favorite composers is Mozart, and I think he's pretty cool. Though he was kind of like the Justin Bieber of his time. He became super famous when he was young, a total brat in his teens, and completely almost ruined his career in his 20s with his playboy ways. But in his 35 short years, he created some of the world's greatest musical masterpieces. Some like Magic Flute that had been translated in thousands of ways, from paintings in 1818 to here in Orlando where we set her, the same queen, in outer space. And I love Mozart. And a little fun fact, I've actually worked on 3 Mozart operas in this very theater. And, and I made my only other stage debut as the best friend in Don Giovanni right on this very stage. And I can tell you I don't sing, but I was just as nervous as I am now. Now, if there's one thing that I have learned about opera, it's not, not everybody feels like this, and not everybody is as passionate. And see, not many of you have even experienced opera at all. Somewhere along the way, this art form has become unrelatable and out of touch, and I'm on a mission to change that. See, I've been inspired by the people that I've worked with, and the icons have come before. See, Maria Callas has played almost every diva imaginable. She's poured out every emotion out onto that stage, and I gotta tell you, there's something to be said about a woman that puts it all out there. Now, she's inspired me to make up my own goddamn rules and say, let's do things differently. That's why I founded Opera del Sol, a new immersive opera company where we want to take opera and deliver it to the community in cool and exciting ways. See, with Opera del Sol, it's all about collaboration, and that means adding tech elements and circus acts, combining burlesque troupes with live art, and delivering it in new and fun spaces. See, I want to share this passion, and I want to get you excited about opera. I want to make music that talks about sex and anger and love. We want to deliver stories that question the origins of the world and the authority of the government and everything in between. So, Orlando, let's make opera sexy again.